What's going on, people? Hey, listen, today I'm doing the Monte Cristo Espada. Monte Cristo. We all know Monte Cristo has always been known for being medium, full of flavor, great body to it. Some people say it's a little too light for them. But for me, I think, once again, based upon time of the day it is for me, it's perfect. Right out of work, Friday evening, sunny, beautiful outside. It's time to enjoy Monte Cristo Espada. So, got my new lighter. Check it out. My man recommended it to me. Give shouts out to him. If you're interested in looking for this lighter, great price point on it, good weight to it, 3-flame lighter. You got your gas gauge in the front so you know exactly how much fluid you have in it. It has a punch at the bottom, and it's pretty reliable. And then on top of that, it has a cigar holder at the top. It's beveled for a cigar holder, so you can just place your cigar right there and let it sit. So that's what it's there for. I definitely want them to get more into some different colors. Maybe some titanium, some silvers, some blacks, some blues, some golds. Gold, like the finishing gold. I think that'll be a really, really nice look to it. And we go from there. My man reached out to me yesterday and we were sitting back having a conversation. He was like, man, I want you to talk about some relationships. And I'm like, okay, man. I'll give my 2 cents in regards to that particular category. First, I would like to give honor and thanks. That's the first thing I want to do. I want to give honor and thanks, because without God, I would not be here. Some people believe what they believe, and that's fine. I believe what I believe. It's Friday in the A, and these people are driving like they have no sense. They really and truly are. That's another reason why you got to stay prayed up, because these folks out here, they don't get it. They must have got their license from a Cracker Jack box or whatever. So listen, relationships are fickle at times, because the majority of it is based upon how a person is feeling and emotionally what they are searching for in that arena. Oh, I got to put up my shade. I'm sorry. There we go. Maybe it'll block out some of that sun. Nope, it rocked out a little bit. But let me just say this to you. I think that relationships are what you put into it. Meaning that if you're not putting anything into it, you're not going to get anything out of it. If you are putting something into it and you're not getting, and it's not being reciprocated, then that's something that you have to review and look at and say, hey, listen, this is This is not an even situation. There's a band of deers out here. They must know us. That's a big buck. I mean, a big doe. Good God Almighty. Sorry about that. What you put in it is what you get out of it. And what I mean by that, and that is that if you put negativity in it, you're going to get negativity out of it. If you put love, understanding, and caring, and empathy and sympathy towards the situation, that means that that person is going to give you the same thing back in return. If that person does not give you that back in return, then you need to utilize your options of getting out of that situation. Because if it's not reciprocated, then why are you in it? And you got to be realistic with it. If you are, up in age and you know what it is that you like and what it is that you don't like, and you have someone that's always putting you in a position whereas it's not beneficial, then why are you dealing with that situation? Because what you want is you want to be able to sit back and talk to someone and say, hey, listen, this is how I'm feeling. And if they care and they love you, then they're going to go and try to make the necessary changes to accommodate. Now, there's a lot of things that are going on. People always say, well, how is it that women can sit back and, as far as the black man, we get no information as far as showing that willingness. And, some guys on some platforms, they'll say, well, hey, you go out there to your boss, and whenever your boss tell you to do something, you jump to it. I think that's a situation where it's, that's a job. But love should not be a job. Love should be something that flows effortlessly. It should be something that comes from you caring about a person. You're not going to always agree with someone, but you have to identify, I could be wrong in this situation. And if I care about this person's feelings, I have to be understanding of that person. If I love them, if I care for them, if I want them to be in my life, I need to make sure that they understand that I'm willing to put forth the effort to make sure that you are satisfied, you are proud to be in a situation with me. I take care of you, I protect you, I provide provision, all of these different type of things. That goes a part of it. When we're out together, I represent you. I'm not disrespectful to you. All of these different type of things. And that same type of energy should be given back. So if I don't curse at you, or if I'm not yelling at you, being disrespectful to you, then why are you doing it to me? Because you really and truthfully wouldn't want me to do the same thing that you do. A lot of times people have a tendency to be able to dish out a lot of stuff. But honestly and truthfully, they can't take it. They can't take the same information that's given to them. People are real quick to be, well, I'm just matter of fact. Matter of fact means that you're not tactful. Because at the end of the day, you should know how to be able to say something and be able to get your point across without being offensive to that person. People kill me. They try to always hide behind, that's just who I am. But yet still, if somebody comes at you with that same energy, then you get offensive you get offended, or you get, oh, what, I didn't, no, that's the same energy. It's the matching energy. If I come to you and I'm sitting back having a conversation with you, and we are having dialogue, and dialogue meaning that you don't necessarily have to, it doesn't necessarily have to mean that everything is nice and sweet and everything is at one level. No, sometimes if you are a spirited person, sometimes you're going to talk, and sometimes your voice is going to elevate. But being able to identify the difference between yelling, being upset, and talking in a forceful tone, that's a big difference. And I think that a lot of times men get caught up. They get caught up in the fact that they talk. If their talk is aggressive, then it will come off as if you're yelling. And truthfully, most of the time, they don't know yelling. They know assertiveness. And if you have any, and it also, that could be a thing, because it also shows whether or not, what type of man you've had in your life coming up. Whether or not you had a man in your life coming up. Because if you had a man in your life coming up, men have, especially fathers, have a tendency to be very matter of fact. Hey, listen, you come at me, I'm going to give this energy to you. I'm going to be protective, and you know what it is, how far you can go with your father. You know how far you can go. Hey, all right, and the fact that you never want to disappoint any one of your parents, male or female. We should definitely be in a position where, we should not want to embarrass our family name, have something to be prideful of. Where's the loyalness to your family name? What is a character? Character means a lot to me. So for me, character means, it stands for who I am. And I think that we have to try to be in situations where people will try to make you jump out of character. They will try to make you get out of position and get out of pocket. And you can't move in that manner, because if someone is pushing you to the point whereas you are thinking about doing things that's out and things that you normally don't do, that means that person is pushing buttons on you that you don't need to be around, because either you can't control those urges or that emotion, or they just know how far to push you. And sometimes they'll push you to the limit. I don't think nobody that is living is proud of everything that they've done in their life. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm not proud of, but I've tried to learn from them. And learning from them gives me the opportunity to be able to say, hey, I grew in that particular subject matter. I grew in that particular area, how I see things. Everyone needs to grow, because life is not always about how you see it. There are other people involved, and they're going to think differently. Everybody don't think the same way. That's why I've always tried to express to people, hey, listen, when you say something to somebody, try to be clear and concise. Meaning that let your words be understood what it is that you're saying, and look for the simple fact that sometimes something that you might be saying could be taken in a different manner. Everybody is not going to see everything your way. But if they come to the point whereas if they're bringing you some information and that information is helpful, be able to accept that information in. Because we can also be so prideful to the point whereas we don't want to accept or we don't want to acknowledge the simple fact that when somebody's giving us some information. Now, you can utilize the information or you don't have to. That's up to you. But if you're giving information to somebody and they choose not to listen to it, but then when they want to continue to keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, that's not a good sign. That's definitely not a good sign. Because the first thing that tells you is that if a person it keeps doing the same thing expecting a different result, what is that, everyone? That means that's insanity. It's insane that you think that you can do the same thing each and every time expecting a different result. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to be a good move for you. So identify the simple fact of what you got. Learn from your experiences. Vet, V-E-T, vet your people. Vet your friends. The only people that you can't vet is your family. But you can vet whether or not you want to stay around them. So be aware of that particular situation. Understand that everybody don't have your best interest at heart. Everything that shine is not gold. Everything that look good ain't good. Understand and identify that. Identify that. Because if you don't, it's only going to bring you heartache and pain. It's only going to bring you heartache and pain. And what you want to do is you want to be in position where you don't have to be in that position, be in that place. You don't have to be in that place. That's choice if you choose to be in a place like that. And let me say this to you. That is going to get very old very quick. And if you're dealing with somebody that don't know how to respect you, don't know how to talk to you, don't know how to appreciate who you are and what you bring to them, hey, sometimes they'll find out another way. They'll find out another way. So what I try to do is I try to be the best person that I can be. I try to capitalize on the mistakes that I made. I have no problem saying I'm sorry. But I'm just not going to give out any sorries just to say, hey, just to apologize to keep somebody quiet, because at the end of the day, they're not learning from that situation. If you just sit back and say, hey, I'm sorry, just to have a person be quiet or shut up, they're going to think that they are correct or they're right about what it is, about how they made you feel. And if you are talking about something that is how it makes you feel emotionally, physically, whatever the situation may be, you have the right to sit back and be able to talk about that. Now, somebody might sit back and say, hey, that was never my intention. That's fine. But when it's not your intention, then okay, so I'm giving you this information so that you don't do the same thing if you see that this is something that you want to do. Now, if you continuously do something after I say, hey, listen, this is how this make me feel, then that will make a person feel like you're going to do whatever you want to do regardless of how I feel. Regardless of how I may feel, you're going to still do it. And I think at that point, you have to make a decision whether or not this is something that you want to continue to deal with, or is it something that you can deal with? Because if it's not, be honest. But if you're willing to work and put in the time and say, hoping that person will maybe come around and they'll see your view and your side of it, just so that it will alleviate some of the back and forth, then you have to be able to if you put that time in. But if not, and unfortunately, we're in situations now where people are not putting that kind of time in. They're not. You only get soulmates are rare to come across. Soulmates are they're hard to find. And some people are fortunate enough to the point where they can meet people that are very monumental in their life, and they mean something to their life, and they are a part of their life. Some people you meet, you shouldn't have met them. And you got to understand and think about what was the reason why that person is in your life. And just be honest. Pride is a booger bear. Pride is something that will stop you from loving. Pride is something that will stop you from being happy. Pride is something that will stop you from enjoying your life. Pride is. Because I'm prideful, I refuse to say sorry. Because I'm prideful, I refuse to say, I love you. Because I'm prideful, I can be sitting there hurting, missing someone, but I don't reach out to them. I don't say anything to them. And what is that going to do for you? It ain't going to do nothing but make you have more time and more space away from one another. And if a person is that person for you, don't let pride get in your way of that. Don't let pride get in your way of that. So I'm going to end on that note. Like I said, I'm doing a Monte Cristo Espada. It's a medium smoke. It's not going to be over the top heavy. Monte Cristo has always been a classy brand. They do a terrific job. Once again, like I said, it's going to be more. Of a medium body. If you're looking for that punch, if you're looking for that, this is not going to be the smoke for you. This is going to be something that if you are sitting back, you enjoying a really, really good spirit, you've had a really, really good meal, this is going to complement that based upon what it is that you're trying to achieve. Smoke well, my friends. Enjoy. Be good. Vet. Learn. Say you're sorry. It's okay. You can say you're sorry. But identify the people that are in your life. And if you got people that are in your life that deserve to be there, then let them be there. The ones that don't deserve to be there, you need to let them go. Holla at you.